It's like he's like immediately incapacitated.
He
Immediately.
shut down.
It's like he poked my eye and then he's like immediately. There's no like.
He never tried to look. It was rag on the eye immediately.
Dude, I would have been the silliest looking cat on national TV, just
Trying. He didn't try.
trying.
He didn't try.
Same thing with Curtis Blaze. When he hurt his knee, there was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just like immediately.
Yep.
Oh, burn my village. I can't go on. Like,
He doesn't have the dog in him. Yeah, that kill or be killed.
Immediately quits.
Yeah.
When he got tapped out with an ankle lock, there was no trying to fight his hands. There were no trying to. He immediately quit.
You see the pattern of it.
Immediately.
Yeah. And I noticed the profile pic change, and then you had some on your horse, too, similar.
Yeah.
What's with that?
I'm just having fun.
You having fun with the eye patches?
I'm having fun with it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, he had at it with me. He had a long time coming at me. So it's to keep the fans engaged.
Of course.
It's like.
Shout out to Peak MMA Clips for posting this on TikTok. John Jones wants to talk bad about Tom Aspinall, so I'm going to go ahead and talk bad about him and attempt to ruin John Jones, but that's probably not going to happen because somehow people still respect this guy. So, what I'm going to go through is not even half the things John Jones has done, but if he wants to keep this shit up, I can go through a lot more. Starting off, though, John Jones's legacy. So I put some of them here, kind of hard to see, but let's get into it. First of all, he's a PED cheater using estrogen blockers. And if you don't know what that is, basically it restarts your test after you use steroids. And in the win John Jones had against DC on 214, he popped for Turinabol, an anabolic steroid. Then again, the next year, he popped for the same thing. All these problems. You have real goats that don't have any of these problems. He's had issues outside the octagon too, which I'll get into soon. But one thing I want to discuss is how shit this guy's resume is, okay? The weakest title defenses ever. So some of these guys should be middleweights and some welterweights, but you know how it was back then. People are too lazy to cut the weight, so I have some reasons why John Jones has such a poor resume for his title defenses, and just fights in general. First of all, Stephan Bonnar. He was coming off a loss on The Ultimate Fighter. Stephan Bonnar was never really a top contender either. Ryan Bader, a good wrestler, but not a lot to show at 205. Shogun Rua, past his prime, and he was coming off a knee injury. Rampage. I think Rampage is an okay win, but we should all know that in today's MMA, Rampage is a middleweight, and he was kind of on a decline when they fought. The two DC fights, he was juiced. OSP couldn't even take out OSP, like knock him out or anything. He went to a decision with him, and OSP was never elite competition. You should be embarrassed of yourself. You call yourself the GOAT. Also, look at this physique. You needed 3-4 years to come back looking like this? Okay, yeah. Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith is a bum. You went to decision with him. Anthony Smith is a quitter. We all know this. Lionheart my ass. No, he's a quitter. Anthony Quitter Smith. Dominic Reyes, we all know you lost that fight, but since you have Dana's Wood so far down your throat, you got the win there. Thiago Santos, injured himself in the fight, and you went to decision with him. I can go deeper into his fights, with the eye pokes and stuff. If he wants to keep this shit up, I'll go deeper into detail, but yeah, that's just like not even half. Old man Stipe in his very last fight, Cyril Gane was not ready for the fight, didn't even look like he wanted to be there. Yeah, if he wants to continue this, I'll keep going. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just giving a few. Now, for his arrests and the stuff he does outside the cage. Now, John Jones was on a trip with his family, started drinking again, and beat his wife bloody in front of his little girls. Beat his wife so bad that he had to call the police on their own father. That's obviously very traumatic for them and terrible. Imagine your kid having to call the police on you. Should be embarrassed to yourself, dude. And if you don't believe that, there's a whole police report on it, so you can just look it up. The pregnant woman incident. John Jones was driving, crashed into a pregnant woman. He didn't know she was pregnant at the time, but either way, still shitty that you hit and run someone. And most rational people, you check on the other person, see if you're okay. You would think, and in this case, John Jones was okay. This is on JRE if you want to fact check. But instead, you know what John Jones does? He jumps the fence and he flees the scene. And then he comes back for a stash of money. Dude, this guy, absolute moron, disgrace to society. The women in the car, she had a broken arm, no life-threatening injuries, nor to the baby, thank God. John Jones was also known for hiding under the cage from getting a drug test for 8 hours, hiding under the cage. Crazy. And he has all sorts of excuses for this too, but you know, Joe Rogan, oh no, it's all good. Yeah, yeah. Okay, John. Now, the next topic. What did Colby Covington have to say, excuse me, in an interview a while ago about John Jones in college? So, for those who don't know, John and Colby went to college together. They both wrestled in Iowa. Colby described John as having roid rage and a very bad temper. So this just goes right back to the steroid thing. So he's been doing this steroid thing since he was a jit. So Colby also said he destroyed John in practice. I don't know. That's kind of hard to believe, but maybe. Colby's a really good wrestler. It's hard for me to say that. And then in another interview, Colby said he had talked about what John was saying in their room. He had weird tendencies. He liked to paint his nails and stuff. Did a lot of weird stuff. And then when they're grappling, there were some cases there. I don't remember them all, but of course, John Jones denies the claim. I know Colby's a liar, but I don't see a reason why he would lie about this. Not really a reason to. So I don't know. But so John Jones has been like this since been like this for a while. Now, for the comedy club, I want everyone to take a look at this John Jones versus this John Jones. Pretty big difference. Yeah. So I'll just leave that there. But now for the comedy club incident, which was one of the most recent. No, it's not. The most recent one was him banging his head on the front of a police car. You moron. So John Jones was at a comedy club one night. Def Noodles was performing that night, doing comedy, going through his routine, and then John Jones sat in the back and was very annoying. He was interrupting a lot, shouting out comments. Then Def Noodles later said he didn't know it was John Jones at first until days later. So John Jones was very intoxicated. He was slurring his words, yelling stuff like, "You're a little drunk," and he demanded a good butt joke. Very interesting. A married man, by the way. Married man, supposedly. I don't know. He just, throughout the whole act, there's no physical altercation here. He stayed in his seat surprisingly. But it was tense, man. It was tense. You just look up the video, John Jones Comedy Club, Deaf Noodles, you know. Yeah. So John Jones is he's a cunt, man. Um, you want to talk all this bad shit about Tom Aspinall? Um, he blew out his knee. Can't really do anything about that. Gets eye gouged. You should know a lot about that. You are quite literally the pro at eye gouging, but not going to admit that, of course. Um, so yeah, he got on his high horse, literally. He got on a horse and he walked to he rode to a MMA event with the horse having an eye patch on. You know how he is. He's a troll. He's rage baiting the Aspinall fans like myself. Um, did the eye patch thing on X, I believe. So yeah, John Jones, if you want to keep this up, I'll go deeper into all your fights and I'll find more dirt on you. I could get a whole fucking list of everything you've done. So keep this shit up and it's coming. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. UFC 322 is this weekend. I'll be making predictions for that. Banger of a card. I think we're getting spoiled though. I believe that one of the main card fights is gonna get canceled. Um, I don't think we never get a stat card like this and everybody's healthy. So, but hopefully, I don't know. But I'll do predictions later on this week about that. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.